for us, cause you ain't ready for me. Quarantine, chopping, knocking you down to the knees. Stay as drunk as can be, we keep it drunker than we. Nobody, that's why we come and throwing foes in the leaves. See our foes in that grease, they
Testing. All right, so I guess you can kind of hear
Number
me.
21 brings the ball out to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 Chargers.
It's a game.
Alright, family, I'm a DJ, I'm not an announcer, but I'll do the best I can when I can. Chargers come out strong. Running the ball well. We got a flex on them.
They tried to drop me with a case, but you know I had to say that I was singing like, I swung in the boy on my road and I play. If you heard it, I'm talking, then I say it. Corn, where you at? The top of the lock, getting good, I stay. I'm a bad boy, but I don't want to be close. Like me, in the club, in the middle, baby, poppin'. In there, what you want, a free drink to the to get up off. I'm the little kid.
All right, for those of you that can't hear me, having some technical difficulties, but I want to go ahead and take a moment to remind YouTube's copyright holders, any YouTube bots that may be watching the stream, we do not own the rights to any of the music that may be heard during this broadcast. We do not claim to own the rights to it, nor are we making any money off of it. No copyright infringement intended.
Pass attempt by the Chargers falls incomplete. 3rd and 10, Chargers. Fumble on the play by the Chargers. Ball recovered by the defense.
Check this out, man. What's up? Yeah. So a lot of niggas out here, they got a lot of shit that mother say, yeah. But when it what's up? They can't stand up for what they saying.
All right, defense, stand up. Let's go.
If you got something to say, stand up for what you saying.
Tell them
Yeah.
to the square.
Yeah, I'm standing up.
You don't like what I'm saying, then buck. Swing when you see me, we can throw them hands up.
Stand up.
You ain't notice, I don't give. If I said it, then I meant it. And what?
Stand
You
up.
don't wanna see the trigger man bumps hit you and your man's up, make it hard for you.
Stand up.
Tell your crew they don't want it with us, dude. Lift them up, dude. Hey.
Okay, testing, testing. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Testing, testing. All right, I'm going to assume this is working for the time being. Apologize for the technical issues. Had a little bit of a hang up with our microphone system, but it looks like we've got at least a temporary solution in place for now. Haven't missed too much. The Chargers ran 4 plays on their first drive, fumbled on a 3rd and 10, turned over to the Bengals, who now face a 4th and 3 of their own, and now it gets blown up in the backfield. Ball is loose, but the runner is down, and that is going to be 2 turnovers on downs, 1 by each team on 2 consecutive drives. Some outstanding defensive play so far to start this game out. Go ahead and knock that technical difficulty sign off the top of the screen for the time being. Again, I can't hear things on your end. I can see them on mine, according to our computer and our mixer system. We've got audio coming through at the moment.
I want to remind everybody that the concession stand is open. And they make some pretty good hot dogs over there, man. That chili, boy. That chili on point. Y'all need to go ahead
by the Bengals on that last drive. The Chargers.
Make sure y'all do the concession stand.
Things off. They attempted 2 straight passes. One was a screen that went for no gain. The other was a deep shot that went incomplete. And on 3rd and 10, bad snap. Quarterback Mark Littlejohn almost came up with the recovery, but couldn't quite bring it in. That Bengals defense just wanted it more on that particular play. So now the Chargers offense comes out for what will be their second crack at it. We got some familiar faces all over this Chargers roster. If you've watched many games on this channel or are familiar with the football scene around the Anderson and upstate South Carolina area, quarterback Mark Littlejohn at the helm of this Chargers offense for the 2nd year in a row. Other familiar faces include Brandon Bingham, who appears to have moved to offensive guard from his usual tackle position for this game. Running backs Bobby Kennebrew and Jesse Turman, both big, powerful runners that can really get some stuff done in the 4th quarter, along with former Upstate Dragon Quan Bristol. Had some injury concerns, but kind of came back after that, has beefed up a lot over the past couple of years. You'll see him mostly at linebacker, but also maybe a little bit of receiver and running back as well. It was a false start called against the Chargers there. 1st down and 15 coming up for Littlejohn in the offense. They're going to hand this one off to Turman, who tries to bounce it to the outside, and not much going there. Might have lost half a yard. We'll see exactly where they spot this one. But it took 2 guys to bring him down. Even on a loss of 1, you could see the power in that body. He is a big-bodied, almost fullback style sort of player. Those are the sort of body blows that you can't get too terribly upset about. They may not look pretty right now, but come time for the 4th quarter, they will really start showing dividends. Or paying dividends, I should say. 2nd down and 15 coming up for the Chargers. 3 wide receivers on the field, 2 to Littlejohn's left, 1 tight end in the formation as well. They've stuck with 11 for every snap so far from what I've seen. Going to send a man in motion, hand off, and on a little jet sweep, making some men miss. And getting back to the original line of scrimmage is number 0. No roster provided by the Bengals today. I'll see if I can grab one around halftime. In the meantime, we do have one for the Chargers. And on the carry that time around was... Now we're having some technical difficulties with Google Sheets. And here we go. That was Henry Product. I apologize if I botched that name. Here. On the carry. We've got 4 yards. 3rd down and 11 coming up. 2nd, 3rd, and long for the Chargers so far tonight. See where exactly they go. Looks like they're sticking with that 11 personnel. Littlejohn going to be in the shotgun. Jesse Turman has swapped with Bobby Kennebrew at running back for this play. Kennebrew holds up quite well in pass protection too. Watch for him to stay in the backfield. 3rd and 11. Littlejohn back to drop. Kennebrew does stay back for pass pro. This is going to be a short pass and might be able to make something out of it. Is Product making some men miss out past the line to gain, and that's going to be a 1st down. Product making something out of nothing. Impressive catch and run there for the Chargers, and that is going to bring up their 2nd
Knees and ankles,
1st down
baby.
of the
Knees
game.
and ankles. That's all I'm saying. Knees and ankles. Let's go.
We hope to have Down and Distance and a few other little goodies up on the screen momentarily, running the show solo for the time being. I'm going to get our faithful sidekick Daniel Ruff back in the helm shortly. In the meantime, 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Looks like they're going to stick with this 11 personnel for the whole game. Might switch out for goal line and 3rd and long situations, but other than that, probably don't expect too much variation formation-wise. They've stuck a lot also with this 2 receivers to the left look. And handoff this time to Kennebrew, going up the middle. He's got some room, just dragging a guy, rips the helmet off. Flags come in. Going to be interesting to see who exactly this is on. I imagine that's going to be against the Bengals for
down to the
continuing to
15-yard
play
line,
after
and we got
losing
some
their
laundry
lid.
on the field.
That's going to be a 1st down run for Bobby Kennebrew, showing off the strength. Just running straight through that Bengals defense for well more than enough for a 1st down.
Talking about it.
We'll see where exactly the penalty gets assessed.
That one will
and
go
this
in
one
favor
is
of
going to
our
go against the
Chargers.
Bengals.
Face mask.
Face mask, the official call. You know, I find it interesting that the defense gets called for a face mask, and yet they're the ones that had a player lose a helmet. You'd think that'd go the other way around. In the meantime, this one is going to be 1st down and goal to go for the Chargers. Ball right inside the 10-yard line. And another handoff to Kennebrew. Why not? Lowers his shoulder, trying to power through 2 guys. Won't be able to do it that time, but still a nice little pickup on 1st down. Going to be a gain of around 4 yards. It'll set up 2nd down and goal from the 6. This is where you got to start watching out for Mark Littlejohn's legs. He really loves to run quarterback reads and sweeps down here. We saw it a lot with the Palmetto Colts last season. He was a serious weapon in the red zone for the Colts, as were a lot of other guys on this same roster. Brandon Bingham caught a couple of 2-point conversions from the offensive tackle position. Bobby Kennebrew was on that roster, really gave them a solid running game. Again, lots of familiar faces on this roster, if you're familiar with this channel or the Anderson football circuit in general. Here's 2nd and goal. Same formation as usual, and we got some movement early. They're going to let this one go. Heading to the outside is Turman that time. And I guess the rest of the offensive line must have been slow to react to the snap. I thought that was for sure a false start or an encroachment penalty, something of the sort, but the refs let that one go, and it's going to be a gain of 5, maybe we'll call it 4 yards, down to the 2-yard line. Glorified 2-point conversion at this point. 3rd and goal for the Chargers, trying to make up for a fumble on their 1st drive by punching it in here. That Bengals defense really packed in tight in the box. They need to be on the lookout for Littlejohn to pull this one. He won't pull it yet, just powering right in the end zone. Why get fancy about it? Running backs are playing like that. Into the end zone goes, I believe, that was Jesse Turman on the carry. And just like that, the Chargers go up 6-0. Right as we were talking about Littlejohn possibly pulling that one out, maybe see if that DN crashes, leaves some open grass to the side. No, you ain't got to get fancy when you got real power-style running backs. Like I said, Kennebrew and Turman, all the pass pro days they do, all the running through guys, they're fullbacks with speed, I guess is one of the best ways to put it. They may not run past you all the time, but they will absolutely run through you if given the opportunity. And so far, the Bengals have given both of them that opportunity multiple times over. I imagine we're going to see some more loaded boxes on the next drive as this Bengals defense, I would imagine, is going to try to force Littlejohn to throw it. He's 1 of 2 passing, or check. Got to get the exact stats. And this kick is blocked, picked up by Littlejohn, who dove for the end zone, and they're going to mark him just short. I think his knee touched down. Great heads-up play, though. Almost pulled that one off, but for now, the score is going to remain 6-0 Chargers. 5:14 to go in the 1st quarter. The Bengals set to get the ball back after going 4 and out on their 1st drive. just in case the message got lost in translation earlier.
Yeah, this is my first time, y'all. We only gonna get better.
I want to take a moment to remind YouTube's copyright holders, any YouTube bots,
Yes, sir.
or anybody that's
Representative
the
Electric City.
on the report button.
Your charges up.
Obviously, we do not own the rights to any music
Over
being
the
heard
visiting
on the
Bengals.
podcast. We do not
Yes,
own
sir.
the rights to any music being heard, and moreover, we are not profiting off of this in any way. No copyright infringement is intended. Once again, Electric City Chargers, nor the Charlotte Bengals, or me, Luke Ruff, or any of the guys helping out behind the scenes. None of us own any of the rights to any of the music we may hear during this broadcast. And now, the Chargers getting ready to send this one away. Looks like we got a nice little crowd of viewers here on a very, very hot Saturday night in August. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I imagine there's a lot of football going on right now, especially the arena side of things. Things starting to heat up in the National Arena League playoffs beginning this weekend. So I want to thank everybody that's tuned in, choosing us. A lot of great games out there. But a lot of them are on the West Coast, so hopefully we can get finished up with this one before too long. And y'all still have time to watch some of the Texas and California games later on this evening. Set to kick this one off for the Chargers is number 78, Andre Talley. And we'll work on getting a roster for the Bengals notified before the game. So we're not entirely sure who's back there. And this is a great kick by Talley, all the way down to the 10-yard line, and runs into a brick wall of Chargers right in front of the 30-yard line. Ball is going to be spotted. They're going to call him the 29, so technically better than the touchback, but the return man sure paid the price for it. And now this apparently run-heavy Bengals offense is going to head out onto the field. For those who just tuned in, you haven't missed much from Charlotte's offense. They ran 4 plays, all of them were on the ground. They gained 7 yards before losing a bunch on a negative run on 4th down and 3 around midfield, which then set up that Chargers scoring drive you just saw. Clear to me the Chargers want to bank on the offensive line in this game. Making the assumption that if not in the first quarter, then perhaps later on in the game, they think their offensive line can't overpower the Chargers' defensive line. Obviously, too early to tell anything right now. The Chargers' defense was getting pretty good penetration on that last drive, but they were getting help from everywhere. They were bringing safeties, linebackers, everybody was keyed in on stopping the run, especially after those first 2 plays. Here's 1st down and 10, split backfield look. Nope, they're going to send a man out, and empty set here. 4 receivers to the near side of the field. It's a quads look for the lefty who gets hammered as he throws, and that one's intercepted. We got a flag out. This could be a pick 6. For the time being, that is an interception return for a touchdown by the Chargers. Working on getting a number. I believe that is number 3. Ron Pruitt, listed as a DB. I think that's him. Congratulations to that young man. So the Bengals have run 5 plays. They have turned it over on downs. 1 has been a pick 6. 0 first downs, 0 passing yards. Talk about a defensive performance here in the first quarter. Chargers up 12-0 with 4:55 to go here in the first. All right, I'm going to apologize for just a moment. We're going to get our microphones switched over. You'll hear some silence, but we'll be back in just a minute.
Got my pedal to the floor screaming, cops.
All right, check. All right, I'm coming in I'm coming in very hot. All right, testing.
Okay.
Wow, this is a very sensitive microphone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you wrong.
Tell them what they don't belong. Tell them what they better wrong. Come to get you. You better come to get you. I love you. Come to get you. You better come to get you. I love you.
That's what we gonna do, right? You, me and my brother, we came and did crunk. Won't stop, no, we keep on coming down. Won't quit, that's why we keep bringing hits.
We drop in, everything you pop in. From the and twin begin to make your adrenaline flow right on through your skin and make that crop again. They was playing a beat, came out back on the way. We jumped out like a jack in the box, like a header with a fat girl sack in my sock. Tell them how we gonna go. Tell them what they don't want. Tell them what they better run.
All right, so 2-point conversion attempt upcoming here for the Chargers following that pick six. Gonna motion man, well, looked like they were, and then they sent him back the way he came. Little John, and he had a man, and it's dropped. Number 4, almost able to reel in that 2-point conversion. That is gonna be Shaquille Ellis, who got open there at the very end. Nice play design there by the Chargers, tripping up that Bengals defense yet again. Score will remain 12-0, but it is going to be a 2-possession lead for the Chargers, who looked a little rickety after that fumble, but seemed to have gotten the kinks ironed out in a heartbeat. In the blink of an eye, it has gone from 0-0 to 12-0. All right, so I'm going to assume that take bit of a haphazard solution if I do say so myself, but hey, sometimes things go wrong, and it's not about how well you can prepare for them to go wrong, it's how well you can respond after the fact. And another nice kick here. This one going to come out all the way to the 10. Oh, muffed it for a second, but reeled back in by the return man, who might have a lane heading for the outside. And whatever window was there closes up around the 33-yard line. And once we get the ball spotted, we'll take over from there. Ball on the right hash. Charlotte going to be working to the far side of the field, heading left. 4:48 left to go here in the first quarter. Can apologize. Test here. This is the most sensitive microphone known to man, but hey, that means you'll get to hear every little detail, I suppose. All right, here's 1st and 10. We mentioned that Charlotte was kind of going with a run-heavy look on their first drive. I imagine they're going to try and go back to that, given that the pass attempt didn't go too well. Maybe they will here. Empty set once again. 3 receivers to the far side of the field, and timeout taken by the Chargers. Might not have had the right personnel out there. Looked like they had a 6-man box against the DBs on the field. 1st and 10. Ball on the rise of these teams. One other timeout so far.
I'm off the easy, new breezy, we gon' pop the easy, she gon' fuck the cheesy, but no easy, she just now she won't be you the move. She gon' hit the bees and they gon' do her thing. What you do? I be coming through, and my brothers too. I'm the truth. Who the f are you? I be getting loose. I'm to the roof. I didn't do it too. Y'all lame. And you can get it too. What you trying to do? Balenciaga. Sometimes I sit on it for shit. I'm a move. Get the loot. Let me get my phone. They got plenty. They got plenty. You gon' get you some. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
All right, I want to make a correction to something I mentioned earlier. I said Brandon Bingham had been moved to guard. That is not Brandon Bingham at guard for the Chargers. And Brandon, no guards on the field right now with this one. Almost intercepted as well. Looked like the safety might have jumped just a little
All right,
bit
2-6. We
early.
gotta have that. We gotta have that.
Cameron Delano.
Pass broken up.
Great pass break up for the Chargers.
By number 26, the Chargers.
Second down to 10 right now. Charlotte is 0 of 2 passing for 0 yards and a pick 6. Again, the ground game, it worked fine. Comparing those two things is maybe a bit of a stretch. Strong formation here. 2 men in the backfield for Charlotte now. Kind of a faux eye look, and they're going to hand off to the fullback, and this one... Gotta make sure they got all their ducks in a row. Empty set here for the Bengals. Nickel set defensively. They do have one man matched up on a linebacker. Going to be interesting to see if they go that way. Under pressure, flag down, and just going to have to bite this one. Oh, ball is loose! Recovered by the Chargers, and we got another flag down. It might take them a while to sort this one. To go in the first quarter by the time this one gets snapped. They, for the chain game changed it to second and 11. Hope y'all watching at home like sunlight. Very bright around here between now and the time the sun sets over the trees. We're standing right in, and we got another flag. Speaking of the sun, we got is in the same colors as some flying all over the place. This is four on the back judge. This might be a delay of game against Charlotte. They're back. Some kind of 5-0. I imagine that's what you have to delay a game. So 3rd and 11 becomes 3rd and 16. You gotta wonder if they might just, run something here, a little screen pass, quarterback draw, something of that nature, just to get off the field. Oh, they're gonna get off the field all right, just not on that play. A sack by a relentless Chargers pass rush is gonna turn this into 3rd and forever. It's now 3rd back to Charlotte now. Ball is going to be spotted at the 19-yard line, and if you count sacks, and especially penalties, as part of the team's total yardage, I think it's in this defense might have forced negative yardage so far throughout this game. Clock continues to roll, 40 seconds, and they will have to snap this and the Chargers leading their front team out. And if that line continues to play like it has, they're going to have to get this one off as quick as they possibly can. Now you got to wonder, are they going to have time to get this kick away? Stuff to think about here, but you can see they've been in there. Here's back defensively. Electric City not going to give them an inch. Another delay of game. This one's rolled by the back judge, and Charlotte is moving back again. First game jitters. 3rd and line to gain is at the 42. The ball is spotted at the 12. 4th and 30. I suppose if you're going to run a fake punt, now's the time to do it. And just barely got that one off. Almost blocked. There's going to be a little roller. Brought in by Electric City. They've already got their man out past midfield, but won't go much further. Number 21 on the return. That is going to be Joshua Ellis, gaining about 5 yards for his team. Mark Littlejohn and the Chargers offense headed back out onto the field. Right now, actually, I was about to say in just a moment, but that's local football. Best thing about it, no commercials. 2 seconds to go here in the first quarter. I imagine the refs are going to run the clock, so we may not see play here. No signal started yet, though. Now the Chargers look like they're getting ready inside the field, and yet they come the clock. 2 seconds off, that's going to bring an end to the first quarter, and we will go ahead and switch sides. So at the end of one, Electric City 12, Charlotte 0. Chargers have the ball.
Bang, bang, so mommy join my troop. Last country, I know she said.
We'll always have those bags. All right, thank you. All right, and we are back here to start the second quarter. Chargers have the ball at the Charlotte 46. Little John in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left. Low snap collected, and now he's under duress, and he's going to go down to the ball. Come out there! Fumble City and Anderson! And this one is going right back to the Bengals. Man, neither team can hang on to this football. This is wild. 2 fumbles by the Chargers, 1 by the Bengals, which was taken back by a penalty. All 3 involving the quarterbacks in some way. Interesting to note. Again, first game of the season, it is blazingly hot down here. Can't say I blame them too much. I imagine I wouldn't be able to hang on to a football either down there. But the defense is playing a huge role so far, responsible for 4 turnovers, 3 turnovers.
I look
right
fly,
now.
yeah, I look good. Touch my swag, bitch, you good. I look fly, yeah, I look good. On my mama, on my hood. I look fly, yeah, I look good. Touch my swag, bitch, you good. I look fly, yeah, I look good. I look good. I look good. I look good. I look good.
On the neck, well, get them on the stock bar, staring at the diamonds, mirror, visiting living hopscotch, over here to my spot, say she wanna party, I do it big, I'm like my LRT, show the air on it when I'm feeling like a rock man, 87 G's and white tee when I'm the block man, Jay still rocking, forces still moving, Chuck Taylor's killing, I still moving, notes on the face, the best Jay Fry, take them off and soda hazel,
And another stoppage. Looks like Charlotte took a timeout to avoid a delay game penalty. My apologies if there's not a lot to talk about right now. I've seen a lot of stoppages so far. I mean, as you'd expect, it's the first game of the season, but those were the Hall of Fame game a couple of nights ago between the Jets and the Browns. It was about the same thing. Illegal formations, rush starts, delays the game. Everybody was trying to iron out the kinks during the first game of the season.
Shout out to all my people out there that think
Jay walking in the fusion, get that ATX, get it popping in the illusion.
y'all should see that look I just got.
Contusions, cool as a fan, hot like
Listen, if you ain't keeping good, you need. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Yeah, feel it.
trying to act right it out of being what your own shot, jacking my cologne. Freedom make you hurt. 300 a bottle, $30 for a squirt. Got you sweating out your shirt. You can get the biz. Something on your mind, what it do, what it is. Can't close your eyelids. See the fitted, hit the fitted. Help give you a bonnet, but I better get it quitted.
All right, and here we go. Charlotte back with that strong set. 2 men in the backfield. A little bit of an offset eye look from the shotgun, if you will. Whoa! And this one gets blown dead. I guess you could call that a direct snap to the running back. That's what it amounted to. Of course, it won't go anywhere. Got blown dead before it could really shape out. But interesting. I don't know if we'll call it play design, but good heads-up play by Charlotte's running back to reel that snap in, even though it didn't quite kill. And that penalty is actually going to be enforced against the Chargers. Probably an offside. First down and 5 here for Charlotte. Still looking for their first down of the game. And a pitch to the far side of the field, going nowhere, brought down for a loss. Jared Watkins of Palmetto Colts fame, along with a handful of other Chargers there. I tell you, Watkins, he did an awesome job of tracking that one down. He was on the opposite side of the field when that ball got snapped, all the way on the far side hash. And he ran the route for the running back just about. Looked almost like a defensive back intercepted a pass. He was right on top of it. Fantastic heads-up play. I tell you, Watkins' awareness second to none when it comes to, it looks like they got him at kind of a hybrid linebacker DE spot here. They had him at Jack with the Colts. I've seen him play safety with the Carolina Elite a couple of years ago. He can do it all. Fantastic player on what has been so far a fantastic Electric City defense. Again, we are 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. 1 turnover, no first downs allowed, and that streak is going to continue at least for a moment as we've got a penalty against the Bengals. I believe this one is going to be, not quite sure. I didn't catch the signal from the referee, but it's going to be a loss of 5. 2nd down and 11, and this Bengals offense just continues to not be able to get out of its own way. I'd say to try and go back to something simple, maybe just an easy call, a screen pass, a very generic, basic pass concept, but when you're having trouble just getting the plays into the huddle, that's a whole nother beast. And this run goes nowhere. Brought down not for a loss, but for no gain. Jared Watkins and a handful of other Chargers in on it once again. I caught 20 and 28. Let me get those numbers for you. Tyrez Moats and Dion Williams among those in on that tackle. 3rd down, and looks like they might have actually lost a yard on that one. 3rd and 12 here for Charlotte. Got to get something going. Ball is right at midfield. And here we go. Charlotte's center seemed to break the huddle a little early. Going to be interesting to see how that goes if he holds up in protection. And if we got another flag, delay a game against the Bengals. Are you kidding me? This is getting out of hand. I think that's the 4th one so far against Charlotte. And I can, for what it's worth, I'll explain it once we turn the music off, because we are right in front of the speakers, which is why the music is so loud and why you can't really hear me right this second. I'll explain what I think is going on after this play. All right, strong look to the far side of the field. 1 tight end on that side of the formation. Everybody else on the near side, the weak side. And looks like the Chargers are kind of gearing up for a run to the strong side of the formation. In the meantime, it's going to be a run straight up the middle, and Charlotte has gained positive yardage on the quarterback draw, but it's just too little, too late. And, I mean, you have to put this irresponsible to try and go for it on 4th down and about 13 from right at midfield, technically in your own territory. As tempting as it may be, you have to play this. Indeed they will. The Chargers have a return man deep. That is number 21, Joshua Ellis. Catch this one. All right, so here we go. Here's the punt for Charlotte. Ellis back deep to receive. And they just barely get this kickoff as well. And this one is going to roll out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So all things considered, not a terrible turn of events. Did a good job of flipping the field. They didn't quite get the production they wanted on offense against Charlotte. Anderson at least has a long way to go before they can get any points on the board. 1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line coming up after the break. Well, call it a break after everybody gets their side swapped. All right, so as far as what I think is going on with the delays of game on Charlotte's end, I think it's got to do with the way they're calling plays. Like from a physical standpoint, it's all. Sorry, I keep accidentally muting this thing. And handoff here up the middle. Looks like that's Kennebrew. Nope, it's not either Turman or Kennebrew. Trying to break this one to the outside is not. Their quarterback, is going all the way to the sideline, talking to his head coach, getting the play from him, then running back to the huddle, telling everybody in the huddle what's going on, and then everybody in the huddle has to get set. The quarterback has to read the defense, make any checks he sees at the line, and then snap the ball. That is a lot to deal with in 40 seconds. It works in arena because, the field itself is literally smaller. The distance between the quarterback and the coach isn't near as big, but might have to go to some hand signals, maybe some no-huddle style play calling, just to be able to get these things in. And we got flags once again. This one appears to be going against the Chargers. Ball's going to be spotted at the 8-yard line, 92 yards to pay dirt. And they're going to make a substitution here, bringing in some more receivers. Robin Crawford Jr. still in the backfield. Looks like they might be going for a more pass-oriented set, but right now it looks like they're just having trouble getting lined up, and a timeout called by the Chargers. So maybe getting a little too fancy. First formational variation we've seen from them in this game. They stuck with that ace sort of look, one tight end, 3 receivers, 2 of them on either side of the formation throughout the entire first quarter. It's only now that they've tried to go to a split back look and just couldn't quite get it sorted out in time. So the Chargers take their second time out of the half. 8:14 on the clock. All right, and here we go. 2nd down and 15 for the Chargers following that timeout, and they've returned to, well, technically the same look, more of a trip set, and given where they've got the running back. They're going to, fake the handoff to the running back. Little John going very low. Oh, what a throw! And it falls incomplete. They said the receiver was out of bounds. That was a fantastic throw. Looked like it was going to get picked off, but maybe the breeze helped out a little bit. It floated just far enough to go into the hands of that receiver, but maybe a little too far. Good job by that Charlotte defense, forcing the receiver toward the sideline, making them really work for what real estate there was left. And by the time he got the ball, there was no real estate left. Had 1 foot out of bounds, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 15. Got to imagine run maybe a draw, something simple here just to try and flip the field again. Last thing you want at this point is a sack or especially another fumble. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. They might actually have 6 offensive linemen in there. Nope, they're going to split one of those linemen out. Little John makes a man miss in the backfield, throwing a little curl route over the middle. Can he make a man miss? Yes, he can! 1st down for the Chargers, and he goes out of bounds to avoid the hit. That is number 5. For Electric City, bringing in the 1st down catch. That's a gain of 20 when they needed 15. Josh Richardson with a fantastic catch and run. It's a good passing game. From that one screen on the very first drive that went nowhere. The quick passing game has worked very well for the Chargers. Charlotte has really struggled in making some of these tackles in the open field. 1st down and 10 from the 38-yard line. And now we are in, oh, they're in that same ace formation. They just flipped it this time. Little John hands off, running to the near side is Kennebrew, tries to stiff arm, but actually outran his man. And that one is going to go down as a gain of 3 or 4. We'll see where exactly they spot that one. Or check that. That's not Bobby Kennebrew. That's Dominique Ellis. Kennebrew wears 22. That was 24 on the carry. Apologies there. 2nd down and 6 coming up for Electric City now. Trying to build on that 12-0 lead. So the Chargers so far have made a point of rotating their running backs. I believe we've seen 4 different guys get a carry from that position, maybe 5 when you tack on that jet sweep that they ran, I think, on their first drive. Ace formation here, 2 receivers on either side, and a low snap brought in. This is that jet sweep we were just talking about, threading through some guys for a first down is number 0, Kymir Prydock. Good, apologies if I butchered that name. Sorry, Mr. Prydock, but that was a fantastic play. I mean, talk about threading the needle. He was really patient, really had to make his way through some traffic to pick that one up, but he kept his head down and did not give up. Under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. The ball is now on the 44-yard line. The Chargers driving. The run game is working. The pass game is working. The play-action game is working. It's almost as hard to call plays now as it is deep into the fourth quarter when you really need some points. What do you call when everything's working? We're about to find out. And they're going to send this up the middle with Turman. That's worked before. Turman breaking to the outside. He's got some daylight. Can he be stopped? And he's shoved out of bounds from behind at the 8-yard line. And no, check that. They're going to bring it back to the 15. Jesse Turman bounces that one to the outside. That pays off big from the 44 to the 10. That's a gain of, I believe, 44 yards. Again, I was not a math major, so my numbers may be a bit off, but it doesn't change the fact that that was a fantastic run from the Terminator, as he calls himself. And he's going to somehow get some well-earned rest after that play. Can't tell if that's Kennebrew or Ellis in the backfield. I believe it's Kennebrew. And they're going to hand off. That is Kennebrew. Kennebrew got a hole, heading for the outside, runs right over a guy, spin move. Can he run over this man? Diving for the pylon. Touchdown, Chargers. What a play. Bobby Kennebrew. I was just wondering where he'd gone. They were arresting him up for that. That was incredible. Beast mode Bobby on the run. That might have been the most dramatic gain of 10 yards I've ever seen. That was incredible. And credit to the offensive line as well. That initial hole, you could have driven a truck through that. He had all sorts of daylight there. It was going to be a gain of 5 no matter what. That other 5 to get to the end zone, 110% willpower by Bobby Kennebrew, putting his team up 18-0 over the Charlotte Bengals here in week number 1. 4:40 left to go here in the second quarter. Charlotte on the ropes already, though they will get the ball to start the second half. Looks like we got yet another running back in the game. This is number 28, Dion Williams, who we saw at linebacker not too long ago. We'll see if he gets the carry here. Otherwise, looks like everybody's manned up. 7-man box against this formation. And play action. This one tipped up and almost intercepted. They had the play design there. It was a great fake going for number 87, Kendall Johnson. He was open. All those defensive linemen just got their hands up and knocked that one, well, not down, but up. It was more than enough to stop that play in its tracks. Score is going to remain 18-0. Chargers on top by 3 scores. All right, here we go. Music's off. Tally back to send this one deep for the Chargers. Can the Charlotte offense finally get something going? We're going to find out. And it's going to start on this kick return. 4 men up front for the Bengals. And this one, or check that, 6 men, excuse me. And whoa, right through 20's hands. This one is loose and brought back in by Charlotte. Though he might not get much further, working his way up the sidelines. And, hey, all things considered, coming out to the 36 is a pretty good outcome, given what could have happened there. Ball went right through the return man's hands. Lucky to have gotten it back. I think he was far away enough from everybody that the damage came up. So, ball's going to be spotted on the 36. Charlotte ready to come back out on offense. All right, and here we go. Could be the last drive of the half if Charlotte can get something moving offensively. And they're going to go empty here. Watch for a quarterback draw. It's really one of the only plays that's netted them any kind of positive yardage. And they're going to shift to a quads look to the far side of the field, bottom of the screen, whichever one you want to call it. And they're looking to throw here under some pressure immediately. Quarterback's going to tuck it and run. Got some daylight toward the far side. And that one is going to go for a gain of 6. If I'm not mistaken, that is Charlotte's longest play from scrimmage so far. So I guess we kind of got what I was expecting. Figured they'd run a true quarterback draw from that formation, but it is a quarterback run nonetheless. All right, and I see 23. I believe that's Zach Quan Bristol checking into the game. No, 23 is Larry Albert. Larry Albert coming into the game at linebacker. And whoa! Both sides pointing at each other. It looked to me like the Chargers were the ones that jumped. The ref's going to take a moment to get this one sorted out. And still talking it over. And this one does go against the Chargers. It's going to be a first down for the Bengals. Or, well, they're not quite moving. Nope, now they're moving the chains. Okay. First down and 10. So, I tell you, Charlotte, hey, whatever works. They have gotten a first down. That is progress. Nice little kick return. Gain of 6 on first down. First down by penalty. Looking good for him on this drive so far. And, oh, quarterback got hammered as he threw, and this one is going over the heads of all involved. I tell you, he got some velocity on that throw. Our roster provided by Charlotte thus far. We'll work on getting one at halftime. The quarterback has taken a beating so far. Not too bad of a throw. And now on second down and 10. Seeing some more substitutions. Saquon Bristol should be in the game. I believe we saw number 9 as well. Should be Jordan Adams taking that. And looks like we have another penalty there. This one is going to go as a first down for the Bengals. Might have been a late hit against the quarterback. Didn't see it. I didn't see a flag thrown. And they are still rolling with that empty set. Maybe a little bit of a questionable call depending on, or given how their protection's held up so far, but provided that quarterback can get into the open field like he is right now, hey, it's paying its dividends. And trying to make some miss, gets hammered from behind, but he does manage to pick up 8 yards, and he hops right back up. I believe that was Jared Watkins in on the tackle. There were a handful of guys in that area, but He held on to the ball. Going to be 2nd down, and they're going to call this 2nd and 3. Need to get to the 31. And timeout taken. We got 1:59 on the clock. Waiting to see who took it. Looks like Charlotte took that timeout. I think both teams have one left. So we'll take a bit of a break along with them. Everybody's getting some water. We'll be back in, I believe we should be back in 30 seconds.
Gonna be alright. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. Click that. If you can get it, let me know. Let me know. I want to break it straight up. Let's go. If you can get it, let me know. Let me know. I want to break it straight up.
You want some? Come get some. Where I'm from, everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it. But I won't answer now. Where, why? See, a lot of dudes like to act the fool, y'all. You don't lie, but that ain't my style. So who he gonna get and what he gonna do? Run up on me if you want to.
Yeah, I'd say that was about 30 seconds. We are back. 2nd down and 3 coming up for a Charlotte offense that looks to have finally gotten something going here on the ground on the legs of their quarterback. Empty set once again. Just a 4-man box. Now motioning to 5. And, something went wrong. I was wondering what happened because they snapped that ball and 23 for the Chargers was just kind of strolling. So I think this one's going against Charlotte. Might have a false start. And Charlotte, are they moving back? Yes, they are. 2nd down and 3 becomes 2nd down and 8. 1:57 to go before halftime. Maybe closer to 2nd down and 7. And it looks like now the Chargers, they may have been in a nickel set, and I just didn't see it because they had to split some of their linebackers out to cover those receivers. Charlotte hasn't had much success in the passing game thus far. Wouldn't be too terribly surprised if they leave some of those linebackers in the box and bring a safety or two down. We'll see. And low snap, and they're going to throw here. This one is, caught! Hey, quick passing game working for both sides now. That's a gain of 10 yards. They needed 7. Clock will stop as the chain gang moves and sets up for a 1st down. Charlotte driving now. Looks like they've finally gotten something figured out. All right, Electric City still rolling with that too-high look. We'll call it a 5.5-man box. And might have had a free rusher picked up great by that Charlotte offensive line. Quarterback takes off on the draw. Going to be a gain of 3 or 4. We'll see where exactly they spotted. In the meantime, Charlotte takes their last timeout. 44.3 seconds to go here in the 1st half. All right, so here we go. Got an interesting defensive chess match here, formation-wise, at least, for the Chargers. Charlotte has finally started to have some success both through the air and on the ground, and Electric City going to stick with that two-eye safety look. Oh, this one pays off, and that one falls incomplete. Miscommunication with the receiver. Not sure if that was true, not knowing which route the quarterback had called, or maybe a run-and-shoot sort of thing where you can curl the route off or continue going to the end zone depending on what kind of leverage you get from the DB. Doesn't really matter which one it was. The result is still the same. 3rd down and 7 coming up. Tell you, I love that this isn't the NFL, because the NFL absolutely would have called that intentional grounding, and we would have had a whole 5-minute review process. This is much faster. This game has moved along. I mean, despite all the flags, this one has moved pretty quickly. Charlotte going back to that quads look. This time toward the bottom of the screen. They've got their tight end split out pretty wide. If they want to run a screen, they got the numbers to pull that off. Instead, they're looking deep over the middle. This one through the hands of receiver number 10 and falls incomplete. 27.4 seconds on the clock. So the offensive line issues for the time being seem to have been solved. They've managed to neutralize the Chargers pass rush by way of a faster passing game and some quarterback run play, making those DEs think twice before they try and break into the backfield. But the trade-off there is that if you're not completing those quick passes, you can go from 1st down to 4th down in the blink of an eye, like Charlotte has now. 4th down and 8 coming up. They are not going to elect the kick. They're going to try and bite further into this lead, further than 3 points, I suppose. Though it's taking them a little bit of time. They better get this snap off quick, though they don't appear to be in much of a hurry. Got to keep an eye on that play clock. It has been one of their worst enemies so far. And the quarterback makes some checks. Quad look again. Again, only 3 DBs at that side. They've got the numbers to run a screen if they want. Oh, and that is not going to help. False start. I think the quarterback tried to hit him with a hard count, and he got somebody, but it was his own team. And no, he did get the Chargers. That one's going against Electric City. 4th down and 3 now. Now, what I'm interested to see here, do they stick with the same play they had called? It looks like they're not. So I imagine if they're switching and they had some kind of pass called, now they're going to something a little more short yardage oriented, a faster pass, maybe some kind of run play. As counterintuitive as it may seem, from an empty quads look, given what they've run so far on 4th and 3, their playbook is wide open despite not having anybody in the backfield. Here we go. And looking for the end zone, throw it up into double coverage. Oh, incomplete. Ball out, I mean, maybe a split second too late. Might have had a chance that one got thrown earlier. So I guess my theory was a little off. They did not switch to something more short yardage oriented. They wanted it all. Time was running a little short in their defense. We got 20 seconds on the clock now. But Charlotte comes up with nothing despite finally having gotten some momentum going on offense. No timeouts left for the Bengals. Would not be too terribly surprised if we see a knee here, but at the same time, given how well Electric City's running backs have carried the team, specifically Jesse Turman and Bobby Kinnebrew, can you resist the temptation to hand it off to him at least once just to see what happens? Though it doesn't look like Turman or Kinnebrew is in the game. I believe that's, couldn't tell if it was a 20 or a 30. Let me double check their roster. There's a 30 on here, but he's Timothy Orange, listed as a tight end and offensive lineman, so I believe that is Tyrese Motes, perhaps? Or no, check that. That was 30. He's coming in as a true tight end, so it looks like we're going to get some kind of play here. They're not going to kneel it down quite yet. 12 seconds, 1 timeout. Can't imagine they're going to have any way to score unless they really break one open, but anything is possible given how well this Chargers offense has operated so far. And we're just waiting on the snap now. Little John facing a blitz, looking long, throwing right into double coverage, and that one goes out of bounds. Again, maybe the breeze caught that one a little bit. It's the second pass in that direction that has sailed just a little bit too far. And 13.8 seconds now. We lost about 6 on that play. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Chargers. All right, I see Turman still on the sideline. Doesn't look like they're bringing in either of the power backs for this series, or at least not so far. All right, and the backfield now for the Chargers is number 11. That's Fonsby Clyburn. Name sounds familiar. I believe he played for the Elite last year. And we got flags. Somebody jumped in. It's going to be the Chargers. 2nd down and 15 now. 12.3 seconds. Maybe now you start considering taking the knee, or at least just handing it off, running something, kind of low risk to get out of here, though. On the flip side, I imagine they want to be at least a little bit aggressive because Charlotte got something moving on that last drive, but they're also getting the ball out of the half. So you factor in the momentum they got plus the adjustments they might make at halftime. I imagine Electric City is looking at it like this, like, we need to try and get some points on the board in case they come out here, hit us something we haven't seen in the second half, and get a quick touchdown. Ball is on the 12-yard line. Looks like this might be a screen to the bottom, of the screen. And nope, they're going to hand this one off, and into the open field is Clyburn heading for the sideline, and he's holding his head. He might have been able to tightrope that, but his momentum was carrying him all the way toward the sideline. I think it was kind of you could almost see the gears turning in his head once he kind of broke past that safety. He's like, oh man, I might be able to take this down the sideline, but at the same time, you're trained in these kind of situations. Get out of bounds, stop the clock once you pick up the first. Probably the safe play there. Getting out of bounds. Electric City's got 1 play left, maybe 2 if they throw just an insanely quick pass. Like if they were to put Little John under center, throw an out to the near side of the field, they might be able to pick up 5 yards, but that's not really worth it, I wouldn't say. Clyburn going to check out of the game. And this one, barring any penalties, is probably going to be the last play of the half. 3-3-5 set defensively for the Bengals. No prevent safeties here. Bit of an interesting decision. If anything, they're playing up pretty tight. Yeah, they're playing up tight, and the linebackers are telling them to come up even more. Playing with fire here. Little John under duress. And throwing long. Oh, this one is caught! Oh, my goodness! At the buzzer! Number 5 for the Chargers. No, check that. Takeem Hollings. What a play! I cannot believe what I just saw. I mean, that is the aggression of getting, or the definition, of getting burned by aggression. I thought something was up when I saw them bringing those safeties down. They were close to begin with, and I saw number 10, this is an X on his jersey. He motioned to the near side safety. He said, hey, come down further, knowing that the Chargers need a touchdown with the clock to expire. That is a head-scratching call defensively, but it could not have worked out better for the Chargers. Fantastic play by Little John, too, to get out of that heat and throw a dime over the head of the defender on a crossing route over to Ellis. Check that, no, Hollings. Ellis or Hollings is 5. Tykees Hollings with just an electrifying touchdown. And now the Chargers are going to go for 2 to try and stretch this to 26-0 heading into the half. So all that momentum that Charlotte built, gone. Maybe not all of it gone, because they're off. I mean, they didn't necessarily have that breakdown on offense, but I mean, that one, I cannot imagine how much that one stings. You finally get something going. You don't score any points, but all things considered, it was a good drive offensively, and then that happens. With 20 seconds left, Anderson goes the length of the field and scores a touchdown at the buzzer. Motioning to trips. Little John pitching to the outside. They might pull this one off. Trying to cut back inside. Did he get it? Yes, he did. 26-0 is your score in the half. That was number 21 on the carry, Joshua Ellis. And that is going to take us to the break. The Electric City Chargers on fire, up 26-0 over the Charlotte Bengals. We'll be back in, I'd say, about 20 minutes. Go get yourself something to drink, something to eat. We'll be right here once you're finished. All right, and we are off here to start the second half. Apologies for the scoreboard. Tried to fix it up, and it looks like I accidentally made it disappear. Nice little return there out past the 30 by the Bengals. And we are ready to start out the third quarter. For those of you just tuning in, you missed a heck of a second quarter. Both teams got off to a little bit of a slow start there in the first. Traded turnovers on the first two drives, then a pick six by the Chargers, a little bit of back and forth dominated by the Chargers defense. Eventually, Electric City scored again, and then finally, after almost an entire half of doing nothing on offense, Charlotte finally got some stuff rolling to the tune of some quarterback runs and quick passes, made it all the way down to the 20 before the drive stalled out, and then with 20 seconds left, Electric City ran 4 plays. Two of them incomplete, clock stopped. With 5 seconds left there at about the 30-yard line. Then Charlotte brought the safeties down instead of playing prevent, and Anderson scored on almost a 70-yard touchdown. And Anderson might have the ball here. A bad handoff caused the ball to kind of go up in the air for the Bengals, excuse me. And it does look like they got it back, but not exactly the way you'd want to start a half off. And there we go. Now we got the scoreboard back. And now, I believe, let me just make sure it's on the right layer. We got down in distance. So we're going to bring up, looks like 2nd and 10 here for the Bengals. The sun is starting to set here in Liberty, South Carolina. That's why the color's getting a little distorted. Should be down behind the trees soon. And we'll get a nice evening look out here. It has been hot as blazes, humid to boot. And this one, a handoff to the fullback, breaks one tackle and gets out past the original line to gain. It's going to be a gain of 2 for Charlotte. 3rd down and 9 coming up for the Bengals. So far, the Charlotte offense has really only stuck with 2 formations, maybe 3, depending on how you count motions sometimes. They've gone with that strong look, 2 guys in the backfield along with the quarterback, a running back in the pistol, and then a fullback, tight end hybrid sort of in that traditional shotgun running back spot. They've run it behind him a couple of times. They've handed direct to the fullback a couple of times. And other than that, they ran, especially on that last drive before the end of the half, they ran a lot of empty, specifically quads, 4 receivers to one side of the field, usually the near side, and they would spread that defense out and get all the DBs, having to respect the pass, having to respect the quarterback's arm. They'd spread them out, leave 1 or 2 linebackers in the box, and then the quarterback would take off, and they really got some good stuff going with that. 3rd and 7, actually, is the official spot here. And this one, well, they tried to pass, and it's going nowhere. That's going to be a sack by the Chargers defense for a big loss on 3rd down. Flag down, though. Let's see where exactly this one ends up.
Think it's a game.
I came up from nothing, you can't tell me. Yeah, did it on my arm, take on my neck, take on my wrist. Yeah, I swear I ain't never expected it to be like this. Now,
and this one looks like it's going to go against Electric City. Charlotte's moving it up. 5-yard penalty possibly might have gotten Electric City to jump 3rd down and 3 coming up here. Yeah, so it looks like the last one was 3rd and 8. So take that sack off the board. We'll see what exactly they dial up here. I know it's only been 3 plays, but I'm a little bit surprised they haven't gone back to that empty look and tried to run it with the quarterback. Maybe he mentioned something about wanting to get away from that at halftime. So far, haven't seen a ton of adjustments. Offensively, they've looked pretty similar, though. This particular alignment with receivers out of that strong set is new, and got some movement at the line. Initially, another sack here. It was a low snap, and the quarterback just kind of had to do what he had to do to make sure they didn't turn that over. Taken all the way back to the original line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 7, and it'll bring up 4th down and 10. And the offensive struggles continue for the Charlotte Bengals here in week number 1. This Chargers defense, that pass rush has been something else so far. And now the punt team will come out once again. Ellis back deep to return for the Chargers. Expecting a long punt here. He's all the way back at the 25. All right, and both sides making sure they had the right personnel out on the field. Charlotte's got to watch out for that delay of game. It's been a while. I mean, it's a punt. I think they'll give it to them, honestly. No need to be petty about it. And, oh, they just barely got this kick off. They might have gotten a piece of that one. Rolling, and Ellis will not get a chance to touch it. Pretty darn good punt, given that it might have been partially blocked. It rolls all the way down to the 32-yard line, so field successfully flipped for the Bengals. Electric City's got a long way to go, though that certainly hasn't stopped them before. First down and 10 coming up for the Chargers. Little John ready to lead that offense back out onto the field following an incredible touchdown pass on their last play from scrimmage.
Playing with my nigga, this lethal dog. Don Corleone. Trust me, at the top it isn't lonely. Everybody acting like they know me, dog. Don't just say it, then you gotta show me. You gotta bring the clip back empties. Yeah, asked to see the ball, so they sent me, dog. I just broke off with a 10-piece, dog. There ain't nothing, I'm just being friendly, dog. It's just a little 10-piece for it, just to blow it in the mall. Doesn't mean that we involved. I just put a Richard on the card. I ain't going playing ball, but I show you how.
All right, and the sun finally beginning to set here in Liberty. It's finally cooling off. It's been blazing hot up here, but I think better knock on wood, but I think we might be in line for a much more cool second half here as the Chargers get ready for their first drive. Going back to that ace look, not a lot of formational variation. Should be the name of an album. For either team so far. They've really stuck with two formations for the most part, have both sides as this play gets blown dead. Didn't really look like it was going anywhere anyway. Just got to wait to see who this is on. There's been... don't let the scoreboard fool you. The Chargers have not been error-free today. They almost threw an interception on their first drive before turning it over on a bad snap turned fumble. And the penalties, both sides have had a lot, and it's not anything crazy. It's all just procedural stuff. The type of penalties you'd expect to see in the first game of a particular season. Both teams have struggled with the play clock, jumping off sides, false starts, things like that. But this has not been an error-free game for Electric City. Oh, and there's another one right there. Little John does the right thing and just falls on it. It is only first down, so I suppose there's technically room to try and get some of that yardage back, but another first down. The outlook on that not looking super great right now. I think they lost. Yeah, going to be second down and about 22 by my count. That was a major loss of yardage on that one. Second bad snap today. And pretty quick coming out of the huddle on that one. Interesting to note that for all the Chargers have done, for as many snaps as they've had with a tight end in the formation, they have not targeted him much. I think they've tried to go to their tight ends on two-point conversions once or twice, but I'm really surprised they haven't tried to hit a seam. They've mostly used him for blocking, going up against this 3-3-5 defense for the Bengals, though. They may have switched to a different look on that particular play. I think their base formation is a 3-3-5. And we got another flag here. Are they going to move this even further back? And no, I guess it was just a whistle. I think they did throw a flag and they picked it up. So not quite sure what that was about. Second down and 22 coming up. Maybe longer than that. Here's the snap. Another flag. Oh my goodness. And looked to me, maybe one of the receivers got a bit of a head start. Didn't quite see anything too glaring on that play. Guess we'll find out. All right, and they signal for the clock to wind. That penalty goes against Charlotte. So second down and 22 turns into second down and 17. We'll call it 15, just to be safe. All right, trip set to the far side of the field. Littlejohn hands off, trying to break this one to the outside and going nowhere. Going to be a loss on the play. And did I see another flag come in? That is, I know we had one picked up. That is 3 flags on 3 plays out of the gate. This is feeling like the NFL. And it looks like Electric City, the one's moving back now. We'll see where exactly they spot this one. Yeah, they're looking over at the Charlotte sideline. So this one did go against the Chargers. All right, so after all that, third down and 18. On their previous third and longs, the Chargers have settled for quick passes followed by major catches and runs, trying to go for a running back and shakes one man but runs. Man, Charlotte had that one covered up. Look, it looked for a second that he might have been able to break through all those guys, but that really would have been a miracle. And given that the Chargers have already had a miracle of a play to end the second quarter, maybe luck kind of ran out a little bit there. Electric City going to have to punt, barring any major penalties against the Bengals. Looked like they got right back to the original line of scrimmage on that one. Hearing a lot of chatter though. Did something happen? As far as I'm concerned, it's 4th and 10. Maybe 4th and 9, but the semantics don't really matter. It's going to be a punt regardless. First punt of the day for the Chargers. And here we go. Long snap. This one almost blocked, but a pretty nice kick. And, takes a very good Bengals bounce. Landed at about the 45 and then hopped all the way back across midfield. And the Bengals are going to have some really good field position. Tell you, it looked good coming off his leg, but net yardage-wise, not that good of a punt. Though, I mean, I don't think the Chargers would have had much better chance of picking up a 4th and 9. It was definitely the right call. All right, so here we go. First down and 10 for the Bengals. Only time they've been in plus territory aside from that drive to close out the second half, or their final drive of the second quarter, I should say. And fake the handoff to the fullback and the running back, looking long. And this one incomplete. That one caught everybody off guard. But good coverage there by the Chargers. Heads up play to keep the safety back. Corner ran the route right with him, and they were able to break that one up. Second down and 10 coming up for the Bengals.
Stand up in the motor, what's the dashboard? Stand up in the motor, what's the dashboard? Hold up,
Again, I just find it interesting that this is only the second time all game that the Bengals have been in plus territory. Ball on the Electric City 47. 2nd down and 10. Strong set for the offense. And same play just about. Electric City ready for it this time. Quarterback took a huge shot. This one recovered by Anderson, and they blow it dead. Man, I think if this were college or the NFL, that might have been a flag. No foul intent or no ill intent on that hit, but it was just the way the cards fell on that one. I mean, that quarterback took a massive shot from the backside coming down. That was when they blew the play dead. And the ref going to explain it as best he can. It was a bang-bang play, but Charlotte will retain possession. It is going to go down as a sack, though, so they're going to say knee or elbow was down prior to the ball coming loose. 3rd down and 15 coming up for Charlotte. And they're taking a minute. Oh, the quarterback's over on the sideline getting the play direct from his coach. They got a lot of delay of game penalties earlier doing this. They're going to have to get out of that huddle quick. And I don't know if you can see him on screen, but that back judge has got both eyes on his watch, really. They're going to have to get this play off fast. I think they've got a little more than 10 seconds right now. It's still rolling. Split back look here. Both receivers to the bottom of the screen. Tight end's been all alone on his side of the field for most of the game. They haven't tried to work it, though, and got all day to throw, but time is running out. Throws it away and out of bounds. The Chargers want a grounding penalty. They're not going to get it. There was a receiver close enough to the quarterback. Didn't cross the line of scrimmage, but he was far enough out of the pocket that they'll give it to him. Charlotte's going to need, a sack would have been the last thing they need on that one. 4th down and 15 coming up. We're going to see another Bengals punt. Ellis back deep to receive for the Chargers.
Get in your feelings and make diss songs. I make at your people's house outside shooting their big songs. And I'm still good on every block. I used to knock these on. Boss, I get you chalk. My name ain't something that you speak on. Put out 20-something just to let Johnny put my teeth on. My money 10 feet tall, but I ain't something you shoot at. Kill something you won't lock in with us. I thought you knew that. My blood drove the load in on the truck. Next day he flew back. I talk so much I need a tic-tac. I got 5,000 for you. Help me set this wolf trap. Started a new strain, smoking your man. This real wolf pack. Up on the scoreboard, we still active like we on kick back. Only thing gonna take that pain away is if you get wrecked. Forever get my lick back.
And here we go. Low snap collected by the punter. Hey, good job to get that kick away. And calling for a fair catch is Ellis. Does take a pretty good Bengals bounce. He got dangerously close to kicking that ball by mistake. But they dodge a bullet there potentially. Ball's going to be spotted at the 15-yard line. Pretty good punt there for the Bengals.
Before I came up in the game, nobody showed me love. They see me in the club and used to treat me like a scrub. They wouldn't holler cause my dollars wasn't swollen up. I bet they changed their mind when them 84s come rolling up. They see that I'm a star, now they wanna sit in my car. Now they wanna count my G's, roll with me and candy car. Now they used to love to kiss me, now they rush to hug and kiss me. Now they telling all their friends when I leave how they miss me now. 281-330-8004.
All right, and the Chargers back in the huddle now. Looking for some better luck on this drive. A bad snap that was recovered, but for a pretty big loss of yards, kind of derailed everything on their previous drive. Weren't quite able to replicate the success they had on their final drive of the second quarter. We'll see if they can pull some of that magic back out here. And actually, timeout called by the Chargers, though the game clock is still running. And nope, now it's stopped. So 1:53 to go here in the third. Very fast-moving third quarter. Right when the sun's finally setting, then it's starting to cool down a little bit too. That's when the game starts moving fast. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and the Chargers going to use this opportunity to get their ducks in a row. Looks like Charlotte's got a player trying to eavesdrop on the ref a little bit. That's always a good move. Try and get on their good side. And here we go. Let's see if the Chargers have it figured out. Looks like we got a more traditional nickel lineup here for the Bengals. Number 9 is an Iron Man tight end. I guess he's kind of playing a hybrid defensive end linebacker role. Can got to go 4-2-5 or 3-3-5, depending on however you want to line up, though. It looks like they've got him in coverage now. Going to pass rush, direct snap to the receiver, flag down. Oh, making some men miss. And out past the line to gain is number 11 for the Chargers, though we do have a flag down. Fonsby Clyburn on the carry, and Electric City moving forward. This one may not be coming back. I'll tell you, that was pretty good play design. It looked to me like they'd fumbled the snap initially or had gone high. Something went wrong, but they snapped it to Clyburn as he was coming across the formation. Really good timing on that one. And whatever that penalty was, it was against Charlotte, declined by the Chargers. Though, ref, the flag is still down on the far side of the field. You got to pick it up. I've never seen that before. The flag is still down. Oh, and he realized it. Okay, there he goes. Yeah, in all our years of doing football, I've never seen a ref leave behind his flag. Hey, it's been one of them days. It is hot. They've been out there in the thick of it for most of the afternoon. I don't blame them one bit. And faking the jet sweep, handoff right up the middle, and this one only goes for a gain of 1. It's going to be Dominique Ellis on the carry. Really had to fight for the yard that he got on that one. Ran through a swarm of Bengals. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Or actually, it looks like they'll say he fell forward. Spot the ball a little further up. 2nd down and 7. Ace formation here for the Chargers, though. Again, they haven't really used that tight end any. Neither team has. Little John, hands off. Going up the middle is, can't quite get a number. It's 20-something. Going to be a gain of about 4 yards. I think that's 23. Could be, I think that's Larry Albert. I'm not 100% sure. But if that is Albert, that means the Chargers have handed it off to 6 different players at least. That's, by my count, that's 6 players from the backfield, not even counting the jet sweeps. And they've handed it off to a number 22, 23, and a 24. And Quan Bristol and number 4, I believe that's Ellis. Yeah, Shaquille Ellis heading over to the huddle. I think we got a timeout, actually. Oh, and I see. So that was the last play of the quarter. We have reached the 4th. Chargers up 26-0 after a scoreless third quarter. So, going to be interesting to see here if the Chargers kind of shift to... No, the clock's right there in the corner. Yeah, I don't think we've got any kind of clock malfunction. I think it's just we switched to the fourth quarter and we didn't catch it. Yeah, they're switching sides of the field now. Yeah, Little John's heading that way. So if the Bengals have a 26-point comeback in them, now's the time to pull it out. Down 4 possessions here. They're going to need some touchdowns, and they're going to need them in a hurry. And as I was saying just a second ago, it's going to be interesting to see if the Chargers kind of continue with their more balanced attack. They've run it some, they've passed it a little bit, sometimes when they've had to, and even when they've wanted to a couple times. They've had a couple luxury passes, if you will.
0.
But especially given how well they've run it with some of their some of the running backs we saw earlier, Kennebrew, Turman in particular had some really good runs. Do they bring them back out and try to chew this clock up, or do they continue really more focused on just getting some points on the board? We'll see. 3rd down and 2. And they got him to jump. The famous Mark Littlejohn hard count.
Real quick, good people, if you want a Gatorade or anything like that, we are out of Gatorade on the home side, so you will have to go to the visitor side. If you'd like to get a Gatorade, please visit the visitor side, and they'll go ahead and square you away. Appreciate you.
I swear, Littlejohn gets him with that hard count at least once a game. Every single time we stream one with him in it, I think he's gotten at least one. He is really good at it. So that's going to bring up a 1st down by penalty for the Chargers. And now especially, 1st and 10 on the 41. I think they're going to show their hand pretty quickly in regards to whether or not they're going to try to run this clock a little bit or continue with their more balanced attack. Same formation as last time at stack look to the bottom of the screen. They got the numbers 4 screen if they want to try that. Whoa, and low snap here. Littlejohn reels it in and just kind of semi got rid of that, semi looked for the tight end. That one falls incomplete, but it will stop the clock at 14, or actually, oh no, we may be running on the XFL rules. Yeah, that clock's rolling. All right, 14-10 and counting here. And actually, it looks like we got some kind of penalty against the Chargers. So forget 2nd down and 10. This is 1st down and 20. All right, so here we go. Looks like Larry Albert is going to be the tailback here. And now they're going with a trips look. No, they're heading back over to their base formation. 2 receivers to the far side of the field, tight end, and the Z receiver over towards us. Only a 5-man box here for the Chargers. And Littlejohn going to look to throw. Under duress, navigating the pocket, going across the field. Oh, and that one almost intercepted. That would have been a pick 6. Man, they really needed that one. And just, as a quarterback, you got to know not to try to make that throw, even if it is open, on the move, unless you got a chance to really set your feet, trying to hit an out route to the far side of the field. That is not an easy throw. You may only gain 5 or 6 yards moving forward, but don't be fooled. That is a 20, sometimes 30-yard throw on the move to the far side of the field. Not a great decision, and the Chargers really dodged a bullet on that one. Man, the Bengals really, really could have used that interception. Instead, going to bring up 2nd down and 20. Littlejohn sending a message to the receiver there at the far side, or the near side, I should say, bottom of the screen. Ball right on the 30-yard line. Littlejohn looking to pass again. Oh, he's got a very clean pocket, looking deep, and gets sacked. Taken down behind the line, but it's only going to be a loss of 2 or 3. But that brings up 3rd down and 23, the longest distance the Chargers have had to go all game. Again, a little bit surprised that they've tried not necessarily a passing game, because it's worked well for them, but the passes that they've tried have been pretty long. I would expect, you know, if you're going to stick with that, maybe some quick game, screens, something like that. I tell you, for both sides, I mean, they got a better view of it than me since they're on the field and I'm not, but I feel like the screen game has been open or wide open for both teams so far, and neither one's really taken advantage of it so far. A little long handoff action, as Mike Leach used to call it. All right, so here we go. 3rd down and 23. $11:35 to go in the 4th. 4 verts here. Little John intercepted. His receiver wasn't looking for it. And he's got some blockers. Charlotte might be able to get a pick 6 after all. Heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Their first of the season. For a defense that struggled in the first half, they have really tightened it up here. A miscommunication between Littlejohn and his receiver ends up in a 6-point turnover for the Bengals. Going to look to make it a 26-8 deficit following this 2-point conversion attempt. And I'll have to go back and watch that play, see exactly how they drew it up. I mean, 3rd and 23. I understand that you want to be aggressive. 4 verts itself isn't a terrible call, but I'll have to double check. But I don't even think they had a check down available on that play. Like if Littlejohn had said, "Okay, nothing's open. We just got to get rid of this thing," he would have had to have taken off himself. Just about. Just an odd play call there on 3rd and 23. You got the lead. I mean, granted, being aggressive is what got them that touchdown at the end of the second quarter, so that might be trying to play off of that a little bit. Hindsight's 20/20, but regardless of the play call, the result is the same. It is a pick 6 for Charlotte. We've had 2 in this game, 1 by each side. Will the comeback start on the defensive side for the Bengals? We'll see. 26-6, still a 3-score game. Looks like they're going to go with that strong set. Got a tight end in the or actually, I think that's a 6th off. No, that's one of the offensive tackles. So they got a tight end and a very heavy box from the Chargers to deal with. They're just going to try and quarterback sweep this. Makes one man miss and will go no further. The 2-point conversion attempt is no good. Your score 26-6 with 11:24 to go in the game. Chargers still on top.
Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go.
All right, so here we go. Okay, 5-man front for the Chargers. The Bengals kind of have one side overloaded. It's a little early maybe to be considering an onside kick, but I don't know. They might have the numbers if they want to go for it. They got a 5-2 advantage toward the bottom of the screen. It's not the least favorable look you could get. We'll see how exactly they play this one. And they'll kick it deep. So, yeah, maybe 11 and a half minutes ago, maybe a little bit too early to try and go onside. And this one returned. Oh, they're trying to strip that ball. Great job by Product just to hang on to that one. Taken out to the 40 after the short-ish kick, we'll call it. And Little John in this offense going to come back out. Will they stick with, will they go back to the run, I should say? Or are they going to try and keep slinging it?
Bloody bottoms is underneath, cause I'm got it out the street. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans. I remember hitting them all with the whole team. Now, okay, that's a call cause I'm balling. I was waking up getting racks in the morning. I was broke, now I'm rich deep, salty. All this designer on my body got me drip, drip. And straight up out the objects, I'm a big trip. If I got up on a lean, I'm a sip. I run the wrestle with my queen, like London and Nip. But I got rich on all these, I didn't forget back. I had to go through the struggle, I didn't forget back. I just had to make it enough.
First down and 10, Chargers just about ready to break the huddle, and there they go. Sticking with that 11 personnel, or actually, it looks like they got another tailback in the game now. So they're going with the same sort of strong formation that we've seen the Bengals use a lot of. And they had some favorable numbers in the box. Here they go. That's enough for a first down. Heading down the sidelines. Number 11 there for the Chargers. I believe that's Fonsby Clyburn with the carry. Indeed it is. Fonsby Clyburn with the first down run. The new 4G's on the G. I trap into the bloody bottoms is on the knee. Cause I might got it out the street. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans. I remember hitting them all with your First down and 10 across midfield. Ball on the Bengals 37. Here we go. Charlotte in desperate need of a stop as we tick below 10 minutes in the game. Sticking with that strong set are the Chargers, and this one going nowhere. Low snap handed to the fullback, and the defensive line was in the backfield before he even got the ball. That's going to be a big loss. Nice play by that Bengals defense. Excuse me. Going to bring up second down and 14 is the call. Still with that strong set. Little John, you see him crouching down. I think he's anticipating another low snap. Good call. Handing off up the middle. Going to be a gain of about 7. It'll bring up third down and 5. We'll see where exactly they spot it. Could be a little more. Third and 7, the official call here. Strategy-wise, I tell you, when they've been able to get the snaps in and successfully hand it off to the running backs, they've had room. I wouldn't be too terribly surprised if they, again, they've fooled me play call-wise on more than one occasion. But my thought process here, if I were the OC, I'd think, maybe hand this off, try and set up for a potential first down, or if you don't get it, 4th and short, then try to pick it up again on the ground. And looks like that's what they're going to do. Oh, the ball is loose! And this one is recovered by Charlotte. Oh, man, what a play! And he's still going! Eventually brought down. Man, what a turn of events. That is the 3rd turnover of the game by the Chargers. Getting a little careless here in the 4th quarter, though I don't know if careless is the right word to describe that one. I was about to say, it looked like they might have had enough for the first down, but that running back, I couldn't quite get the number. He got thrown to the ground. Ball came out on the way down. I think one of the Chargers coaches over there is trying to argue, saying that the ground caused the fumble, and I don't know, he may have a good argument. It happened so fast. But, I mean, that was just an incredible tackle. At first I thought, like, what are they doing? They're throwing him right across the line to gain. He's going to get a first down. Ball comes out, recovered by Charlotte. What a play.
Real hard, whip it real hard. Ain't about no funny stuff, still flipping them chickens. I'm on my money stuff, still whipping them Benzes. Major League, who catching because I'm pitching? Jose Canseco just snitching because he finished. I feed them steroids to strengthen up all my chickens. They flying over Pacific to be specific.
All right, and this one comes out to the 39-yard line. It is the third turnover of the game, confirmed by the referees. Here we go, first down and 10 for the Bengals. They have struggled offensively. Their only points came off a pick six on the last drive. They got some momentum going at the very end of the second quarter, and time just kind of ran out on them. They got into a 4th and 8 that they just couldn't quite get out of. Here we go. And, looking deep on the slot fade, and that one is going to be pass interference. I don't necessarily think it was super duper intentional. Looked like it might have been a collision, but regardless, it affected number 9's ability to go catch that ball. This is going to be a 15-yard penalty. The Chargers, I mean, reeling right now. We've heard of a tale of two halves. How about a tale of three quarters? 7.5 minutes to go in this one. Will the Chargers hang on, or will the Bengals come up with an incredible comeback? Ball is in plus territory on the Chargers' 46-yard line. First down and 10. Looks like they got a linebacker matched up on a wide receiver. 6-man box here for the Bengals. And quarterback is rolling to his left and throws it away. Not quite sure what was happening there. They had a receiver kind of run toward the quarterback. Not sure if that was a miscommunication or they were setting up for maybe some kind of a handoff on a trick play. I'm not quite sure what that was. But the clock is going to continue to roll here. That's been an interesting wrinkle in this game. Incomplete passes do not stop the clock. They're running off those XFL rules. I believe the NCAA actually put those rules in as well this year. They did something with their clock rules, but I know the XFL had the running clock. Second down and 10. Ball on the 46-yard line. Charlotte got to get something going. That clock is continuing to roll. That is their worst enemy right now. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. And timeout taken. I thought they took I thought it took them a little while. All right, here we go. We'll see if they can get this snap off. Second down and 10. Empty set. Been a while since we've seen this. Under serious duress, but going long. Intercepted. Flag thrown. After the ball was caught, though, we'll see how exactly this gets enforced. The last thing the Bengals needed, but 6.5 minutes to go. Down 3 possessions. You got to kind of take a risk, and the Chargers come up with a great turnover.
man. I was in the game on 40 inches. Coach put me in the game on 40 inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I see them boys all behind me wingless. I ain't Mario Williams, but I'm not defenseless. Wide receiver catching Hail Marys, I'm Christian. Driving out hot route, get switch stick shift. Gone with the quickness, fast instant. Cornerback safeties, I burn them like incense. On the field, I'm daddy, and the ball is my infant. I don't need too much of pork, but I'm in love with the pigskin. All I really know how to do is win. Super Bowl champ, Disney World, let the kids in. Hall of Fame Wayne, I'm putting my dibs in. Catch me in the game on 40 inches. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that settle on benches, boy. I was in the game on 40 inches. Go put me in the game on 40 inches. Put me in the game on 40 inches. Go put me in the game on 40 inches. And I'ma lead the boys at the line of scrimmage. I am a New Orleans Saint to the Houston Texans. I like to say thanks. Reggie Bush, baby. Reggie Bush, baby. Drew Brees, Marcus Coach, Sean Payton. I'm relentless. I'm offensive. I'm expensive. Like Tom Benson. Superdome is going down. It's our time, boy. We second lining on the 50-yard line, boy. Hey, quarterback, I'm going.
Check.
And it looks like we've got a man down for the Chargers, I believe. Oh, wait, nope. They're just reuniting. Okay, so I guess nobody's hurt, thankfully, but you know, maybe one of these days we'll do a semi-pro game without a fight. I mean, I don't know what it is. You know, we've done high school, we've done arena. I just want to call this behavior out because, like, these are grown adults, man. Come on, you can go a game without fighting. We've seen it happen. Arena, I know you have the walls, but I might have seen one in arena. Never saw it in high school. But semi-pro, and we've done it. It is almost every game that this happens. And, I mean, frankly, I just don't find that kind of behavior appropriate, but I guess it's easy for me to say. I'm not on the field. I don't know what was said. Regardless, no penalties thrown. I imagine if they tried to sort that one out, it'd all offset anyway. First down and 10 at the 35-yard line for the Chargers. 6:22 on the clock. Timer will start on the snap. Strong formation here for the Chargers. One receiver on either side. And going right up the middle is Bobby Kinnebrew for a gain of 5 yards. Possibly 4. We'll see where exactly they spot this one. And second down and 6 will be the call. All right, same formation as the last play here. And handoff to the running back. Got a new one. I think that's Clyburn picking up the first down. Going head over heels as he crossed the line. Ball right at midfield, spotted at the 49-yard line. The Chargers moving it on the ground and got a timeout called, I believe, by, or actually, Electric City took that time. Wait, no, now they're saying Charlotte took it. I think the first referee just signaled in the wrong direction. All right, so we'll take a break with them. 5:15 on the clock. Electric City trying to run this thing out.
Hey boy, I came to party. Your girl was
trying to do? What you want to do? What you trying to do?
Yo, NR, pop beat, say what? That's the man. With his manager Chris and the label the jam, still flossing, showing your rocks. Ain't you dudes heard Grammy, man, we stole your watch. They go Indian style, he's bent and got CG. Strapped with the baby, BT. You scared the ball, looking good in the brown dress. For the 6 and them things in the round yet. What's not all thugged out loud and clear. Sam, straight Henny, just grab your beer. You see I'm reppin' now, and my mommies, I got them now. Got the clowns at their feet, they hot steppin' out.
All right, and here we go. Second down and 6. Or actually, had some kind of penalty. What else is new? First down and 10 coming up now. And Charlotte has jumped again. Trying to get just a little extra beat on that offensive line, and it bites. Or actually, okay, it looks like Electric City jumped this time. You jump, they jump, everybody gets a jump. Man, it's been a lot of flags today. First game jitters on both sides. First down and 10 becomes first down and 15 for Anderson. All right, and handoff up the middle, but now bouncing outside. Gonna have enough for the first down. Oh, and a shoestring tackle on Clyburn. I mean, they just barely stopped the touchdown on that one. Fonsby Clyburn turning it on here in the second half. Ball comes out to the 35-yard line. It's a 16-yard gain. Or actually, check that, they were behind, so it's a 21-yard gain by Clyburn. Oh, wait, hang on. They've spotted the ball back, so we got another penalty. All right. We'll roll with it, I suppose. I didn't see what that flag was for, so wipe off the run by Clyburn. It was only a 5-yard penalty, so I don't think it was a hold. I can only guess somebody jumped, but if they jumped, I don't know why they wouldn't have stopped the play sooner. First down and 20. The Chargers seem to have found something they liked with that strong set. One tight end and a fullback in the game. Here's the hand, and oh, fake handoff. Little John rolling, but now just diving between two defenders. Cutting his losses as the clock ticks below 3.5 minutes to go. Trying to get a little cute there, and they end up losing even more yardage. Remember, this was a first down and 10 from the Bengals 35 just a minute or so ago, and between penalties and now the loss of yardage, I mean, they are way, way back. This is going to be second down and 25. And we have ticked below 3 minutes now, 2:50 and counting on the clock. Charlotte is going to need a turnover, and they're going to need it quick. 7-man box with both safeties down. It's a pitch to the weak side of the formation, it looks like. Heading to the outside is number 8. Going to be a gain of 7 yards for Quan Bristol. Actually, that might be not. I don't know. That's number 8, and Quan is listed as 8, but that's he's not beefy enough to be Quan. Quan has put on some muscle. Do we have 2 number 8s? I'm not quite sure. I think maybe it's a 6. Could be Robin Crawford Jr. Might have been him. And these Chargers numbers are a little blocky, a little bit difficult to read from up here. And the clock's still rolling. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. Charlotte's ready to go. The Chargers are taking a while to get this one in, and now we've got a timeout. 3rd and about 16 coming up, so my guess is that they were trying to run the play clock down before they called the timeout. Or actually, no. Check that. It's a 2-minute warning. Wow. I feel like it's been a really long time since I've seen a 2-minute warning. It's like, I don't think the XFL did it. USFL didn't do it. I haven't watched much arena. They do a 1-minute warning, but yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a 2-minute warning. Yeah, so 2 minutes to go in the 4th. We'll be back in a moment. 3rd down and 16 coming up.
Just the way I like it. Funny's turning something. I got a seat up in the cut and I'm burning something. Foodies dance around it and I'm killing ones. From the top of the stairs and I'm feeling buns. Put some Dolo at the table. With this chick with the fat fatty and the ring up in the navel. Dances around, she struts with the touches her toes so she can make the butt. Do what you gotta do. I ain't mad at you. Know a lot of famous women see none of that as you. You's a real bad girl and need that. Sipping on your Henny, asking with him. Let me put you on to something. With a big nigga, no frontin'. Yeah. Shorty, turn it around, let me see something. Me, the realest gonna be something. I'm talking lights, camera, action. Let me see that on the side of this Jackson. Turn it around, let me see something. Me, the realest gonna be something. Yeah, I'm talking lights, camera, action. Let me see that on the side of this Jackson. I love the way it's going down, she got the thongs on. She started bouncing more when she heard the thong song. The high heels got the calves looking right too. Shorty, come live with me for the night, so.
All right, are we back? I think we're back. Almost. And a new formation here from the Chargers. Kind of a traditional Mike Leach ace look. 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side. Halfback right beside Littlejohn. Probably looking to pass here, and they stay in for pass pro. Littlejohn going long, very long, and overthrown. That's the 3rd long ball toward that sideline that's gone out of bounds. Not quite sure if there's something up there, if it's just coincidence or what, but regardless, clock will now stop inside the 2-minute warning, so they're doing incomplete passes, stopping the clock inside the final 2 minutes. 4th down and 16 coming up. Chargers going to have to punt. And here we go. Charlotte has 2 men back to receive this one. Oh, and it's a high punt. Way up in the air. Oh, but it takes a really good Electric City bounce out beyond the 20 down to the 16. The field has been flipped. 1:43 on the clock. It is going to take an incredible effort to come back within the final 100 seconds. But, hey, I mean, we have seen crazier stuff happen. We've been doing this for 7 years. Never count a team out until that clock hits zeros. Don't go anywhere. I'm still sure we've got, at the very least, 1 or 2 more exciting plays stored up. Going to be 1st down and 10 for the Charlotte offense coming up. Been a while since we've seen them because of that pick 6 and then the long drives by Anderson.
And I don't know who the you think you talking true, but I'm not him. I expect to watch what you do, or you will find yourself buried in someone else. And we all thought you loved yourself, but that couldn't have been the issue with me.
And here we go. Charlotte breaking the huddle. Crunch time now for the Bengals. They've got to get something going, and they got a long way to go. But again, we've seen some big plays in this game from both sides. It'll take a lot, but I don't necessarily think it's completely out of the question that we could see a comeback. So stay tuned. Split back look for the Bengals. A little surprised they're not trying to go for that empty set that we saw earlier. It worked pretty well for them. They've gotten away from it in the second half. Just a little hitch. Oh, and dropped. So that will stop the clock at 1:34. 8 seconds come off. 2nd down and 10 on the horizon. It's a little bit of an interesting play design. There, because I like the call of going with a hitch, but he wasn't really close to the sideline. And now we got some discussion. Are they saying this is a catch fumble? I don't really know about that. I can understand the Chargers wanted to argue that way. It would put the game on ice, but it didn't look like he even had a chance to take a step before that ball came out. As soon as he turned around, he was having to catch and duck for cover. Yeah, I think that's the right call. It's an incomplete pass, but it's a little bit interesting. More of a slot hitch there. There was a lot of space between him and the sideline, so if he'd caught that, they would have had to go really, really fast to get back to the line of scrimmage and either spike it or try to run another play. Going to be interesting to see if they try and split this next formation a bit more toward the boundary. Until then, 2nd down and 10. .132 on the clock. Neither offense has scored in this half. The lone score for the Bengals came on a pick 6. And that is going to be a sack. It looked for a second like that quarterback might have been able to squeak out of there, but he goes down behind the line. That is going to bring up 3rd down and 13 or 14. We'll see where exactly they spot it, but interesting. Charlotte does not look to be in that much of a hurry here. Clock is continuing to roll. We're going to be well below 1 minute. They're huddling up. I guess they want to make sure they get this next play right. Meanwhile, we got a not quite a quarters look by the defense, but they're definitely backing off. And yeah, below 50 seconds now. The quarterback is just now coming from the sideline. Oh, and he is hobbling. It is not looking good for Charlotte. Their quarterback, I mean, I got to take my hat off to him. He has taken a beating, and he has just gotten up every single time. Taking some crazy hits in this game. 3rd down and 11 is going to be the official call. Here we go. Spread look by the offense. Going to the bottom of the screen. Oh, almost picked off again. Michael Jamison dropped that one. Would have had his 2nd interception of the night, but he does force the incompletion with 15 seconds left. And I guess, what exactly do you do here? Do you keep up appearances and go for it, or you kind of play the long game, try and keep the score where it is, and just punt it? It's going to be an interesting decision here by the Charlotte coaching staff, and it looks like they're going to go for it. Fourth down and 11 with 15 seconds left. Could potentially be the last play of the game. Probably not, but there's a chance of it. Especially if they do, like, a little pooch kick or something from the quarterback, and they do end up punting it. I've seen punts take 15 seconds. But it doesn't look like they're going to go that route. They're going to go empty. 3 receivers to the quarterback's left, 2 to his right. And kind of a prevent-ish look. Defensive formation looking a little bit aggressive here by the Chargers. 4-man rush. Quarterback under arrest. Now going to have to take off. Can he get rid of this thing? He's going to try to do it himself. Catches a block. He's got the 1st down with 7 seconds left. They stop it at 4.6. Going to see if they reset that. It looked like he stepped out at 7 flat. Man, that was a really good play. Like I said, that kid has been... I hate that we didn't get a roster from Charlotte, so we can't call out any of their names, but at quarterback, even in a losing effort, he's done a really good job of taking hits, getting up, and, just putting himself on the line. 1st down and 10 here. More than likely going to be the last play of the game now with 4.6 seconds left, barring any penalties. We'll see if they, I don't know. From this far away, I doubt you can try a Hail Mary. Might try a little catch and run, maybe a set-up screen, just to try and get some points on the board heading home so you can take that bus ride home with your head held high, build some momentum heading toward next week. We'll see how exactly they draw it up. Here we go, empty set. One safety back for the Chargers. Here we go. And they got a 5-man rush quarterback going down, and that will end the game. The Electric City Chargers take down the Charlotte Bengals in their season opener, 26-6. An offensive explosion in the first half, a defensive standoff in the second. The Chargers come out on top. A 20-point margin of victory will send us home for the weekend. And I'll tell you, that is going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Probably got some more great football over on the West Coast. I know the National Arena League's doing their playoffs this weekend, so if you want to catch those games, I imagine they're on right now and probably just starting to heat up. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I'm Luke Ruff for Daniel Ruff, our cameraman, signing off. Have a great weekend, everyone.